Would you like to turn your crochet heart into a perfect granny square? In today's video, I'll show you how to do it. Hi, it's Krista at The Secret Yarnery. Today I'm showing you how to make this gorgeous heart granny square. These granny squares are great. They can mix and match with any other granny square. You don't have to just use the hearts. They will mix and match because of how they are finished off. They are super flat, so the heart is incorporated into the center of the granny square. If you would like to finish your granny square heart into a solid granny square, I will link this tutorial down below as well. And they don't use very much yarn. I used size 4 worsted weight acrylic, about 5 grams for the center, and about 7 grams to go around the edge. Each of these hearts is about 5.5 inches across, so they're a really nice, usable size. I used a 6mm crochet hook, but you could use whatever hook size is recommended on your yarn label. You'll need a pair of scissors and a needle for sewing in your ends. Here are the timestamps. You can jump back into where you left off, and let's get started. To start your heart, I'm going to use a magic ring, but you could also do a chain 3 ring if you would prefer. To make a magic ring, hold your tail over your non-dominant hand and hold it down on your ring finger. Wrap it around 2 fingers, making an X, and bring it around that 3rd finger, just holding it underneath your thumb. Turn your hand over. You have a short strand and a long strand. Grab your crochet hook, slide it underneath the short strand and on top of the long strand. Bring the long strand under and point the hook towards yourself. Release your thumb a little bit so that long strand can slide and turn that hook away from yourself, grabbing the long strand. You can pinch everything underneath your hook, turn your hook, and bring that yarn through the loop on your hook. Let everything go, and there is your magic ring. You could also just do a slip knot and a chain 3 ring if you would prefer that way. So we're going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make 2 double crochets into the center of the ring, going over our tail. So we want that tail with our ring, and we're going to make 2 double crochets. So this start is the same as a granny square. So if you have made granny squares before, it's the same thing. So that counts as our first set of 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into the center of the ring, going over our tail. So there is 1, 2, and 3. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, just hit that gear on the video and slow me down or speed me up. And there is a chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into the center of the ring. So each set of 3 double crochets acts as one side of our square. So we're going to make 4 of these sides. So there's 3 sides so far, 1, 2, and 3. If your tail gets short, just give it a little pull so you have more space to work around. Chain 2 and 3 double crochets into the center of the ring, going over your tail. 1, 2, and 3. So there's our 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can pull that tail closed and chain 1, and we're going to make a single crochet into the top of that chain to join. We're going to make a single crochet right here, the top of that chain 3. And you want 2 strands on the top of your hook and 1 single crochet to join. So we're not doing a slip stitch, we're doing a single crochet. And you can hold that corner space open with your finger while we chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And into that same corner space, That single crochet let us finish right in the center of that corner. We're going to make 2 double crochets. 1 and 2, all into that same corner where we did our chain, just like that. If you are new to crochet, you can pop a stitch marker into that corner space just to mark where our corner is. So when we're coming back around, it doesn't look like that is one big row and we finish way over there. Now into each of these 3 corner spaces, we are going to do a corner. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So to start, 3 double crochets, you can slide those stitches back so you have more room. We want our stitches to be laying side by side. Chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space, that same corner space. There is 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to do the exact same thing in the next 2 corner spaces. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, all into the very same space. So there's my first 3 double crochets, chaining 2, and 3 more double crochets into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Now we have our 1 corner left. So same thing, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. There's my 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets all into that same corner space. And remember, you can push those stitches back if you need more space. Now we're at the corner where we began, that corner space. You can pop that stitch marker out. And into that corner space, we're going to do 3 double crochets just to finish off that corner. 1, 2, and 3. And to join, we're going to join the same way. So we're going to do a chain 1 and a single crochet into the top of our chain to join. So just push your hook in. We're going to make a single crochet to join. Just holding that space open with your finger and thumb. There's our single crochet to join. So that is our granny square center. Now we are ready to turn it into a heart. To start round 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm still holding that corner open with my finger and thumb. And we're going to make 1 double crochet into that space. Just 1 double crochet. Now into this center stitch right here, so it's that one that's a little funny. We're going to grab that front loop and the back loop right there. We're going to make 2 single crochets into that center stitch. 1 and 2. Into this space, 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now into our corner space, we're going to do 3 half double crochets. So wrap your yarn and take off all 3 loops. There's 1, 2, and 3. Into this space along the side, our next space, we're going to do 9 treble crochets. So wrapping your yarn twice and into that space along the side, we're going to do 9 treble crochets. So you're wrapping and taking off 2 3 times. So there's our first one. 9 trebles into the same space. 2, 3. If you'd like to follow along with a written pattern, all of my patterns are available on my website, secretyarnery.com, and all of my patterns are written in plain English, just like I was sitting there right beside you. Now into this next space, this corner space at the top, we're just going to slip stitch just to pin down that heart shape. So just 1 slip stitch into the space. And now wrap your yarn twice again and into this next space along the side, 9 treble crochets. So you can pause the video and get caught up. 9 treble crochets into this corner space, and I will meet you when you are done. So there is my 9 treble crochets. Now into this next space, this corner space, we're going to do 3 half double crochets. So 3 half double crochets into that space. Into the next space, 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now into the last stitch of our set of 3. Normally it would be in the center, but because our single crochets are so close already, I just work into this last stitch right here, just in between that one right there. So the last stitch of that set of 3, we're going to make 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And now into the space where we began, we're going to do 1 double crochet. And we're going to slip stitch to the top of that chain to join. We want 2 strands of that chain on the top of our hook, and we're just going to make 1 slip stitch. Chain 1 to secure your yarn. Cut your yarn, leaving a long enough tail to sew in later. Pull your hook up and your yarn through, snug that down to secure. You can go back and tighten that center. And we want to sew in this tail, the center tail, from our magic ring. I'll just show you quick how to do that. We're just going to go through, around our heart in one direction, making sure you can't feel that needle on the pretty side of your heart. We're working around the back. And these sharp tip needles really help. They're linked in the video below. They are amazing. And then we're going to turn and go back the other direction, just for a couple times. And now that tail isn't going to go anywhere. You can just cut that off. And there is your cute heart. This tail I don't sew in yet because we are still working into these stitches, so I don't want to disturb any of our outer crochet stitches by sewing in the outside tail, but you can definitely sew in the inside tail. So that is the heart shape. Now we are ready to turn it into a granny square. To turn your heart into a granny square, just lay your heart along its side. We are going to start by finding our 3 single crochets we made into the space. So there's our 1, 2, and 3. We're going to work into number 3 right there. That is where we're going to start. So pop your hook in. Get a loop of yarn on your hook, whatever color you're using for your heart. Bring it through, slip stitch with both strands to join, and drop your tail, just holding it along the back of your work. And chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. So this counts as our first treble crochet. Wrap your yarn twice, and into the very same stitch, 2 treble crochets. There's 1 And here is number 2. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. And into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. We're just evening out the bottom of our heart. Now at the tip of our heart, we're going to work in before and after our join right there. So pop your hook in before our join and bring your yarn back. And also after. So we want to pick up that loose loop and the strand behind, like that. Bring your yarn back. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Wrap and take off all 3 loops. So this is a 2 single crochet together, or a decrease, but it's just to get the tip of our heart looking super cute. And into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And into the next stitch, right here, we're going to do our 3 treble crochets. So wrap your yarn twice and make 3 treble crochets into the next stitch. There is 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, wrap your yarn twice, and into the next stitch, 3 treble crochets into the next stitch. There is 1, 2, and 3. Now into the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into each. So 1 double crochet into the next stitch and 1 double crochet into the next. So there's our 2 double crochets. Now we're going to do 2 half double crochets, 1 into each of the stitches. Now we are up at the cute part of our heart. We're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 into each stitch. These are into the top of our treble crochets. 2 and 3. Into the next stitch, 3 half double crochets. There's 1, all into the same stitch. 2 and 3. Chain 2. Into the next stitch, 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. And into each of the next 2 stitches, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each. So 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet. Now into the valley, the center stitch, the lowest part of our heart, we're going to make 1 double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 double crochet, all into that very same stitch, just like that. Skipping a stitch into the second, 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, our second single crochet, Into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet, and into the next stitch, 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 2, into the next stitch, 3 half double crochets. Remember, you can always pause the video and get caught up. 1, 2, and 3, and into the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet into each. 1, 2, and 3. Into each of the next 2 stitches, 1 half double crochet into each. There's a 1 half double. Here is our second. And into each of the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into each. 1 and 2. And into our last stitch, right there, we're going to do our 3 treble crochets. So wrap your yarn twice and into that last stitch, 3 treble crochets. You can just pin down our first stitches so that they're not in your way and make 3 treble crochets. There is 1, 2, and 3, just like that, and we're ready to join. So we're going to join with a chain 1 and a single crochet to the top of our chain, 2 strands of that chain on the top of your hook. Just pop your hook in, 2 strands on the top, and make 1 single crochet to join. So now our heart is a square. Now I'm going to show you how to finish it into a granny square. Just holding that center open with your finger and thumb, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 double crochets into that same corner space. This is what we would do for a normal granny square. There's our 2 double crochets, and our chain counts as our first, so 3 double crochets. Skipping over, so we're going to skip over these corner stitches. So skipping 1, 2, 3, working into the 4th, 3 double crochets. You can work into the stitch, you can work into the space between the stitches. It is up to you. Now we want to go right in to that stitch at the center of our heart where we made our 2 single crochets together. So we want to work in right here with our 3 double crochets. And this pattern is really forgiving. All we have to do is 3 sets of double crochets between the corners. So you don't have to get too worked up about how many stitches you are skipping here or there. Wrap your yarn. I want to work into that first stitch of our corner, just right here, and make our 3 double crochets. And into the corner space, a corner. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets into that corner space. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Remember, you can slide your stitches back if you need more space for your stitches to lay side by side. Now skipping those corner stitches and working in to the next stitch, right here, 3 double crochets. Skipping over and working into our first single crochet right there. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Skipping over 2 into that first stitch of our corner stitches. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And into our corner, we're going to do a corner of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. There's 2. There's 3. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Skipping over a couple stitches, I'm going to work into this stitch right here. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now we want to make sure we go into the center stitch at the top of our heart, right there. We want to make sure we're going into that center stitch and make 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. Skipping over, I'm going to work into this stitch here. But it doesn't matter, it's in between the corner. Just pick a stitch, either one. 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. And into the corner space, 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 double crochets. So a regular corner. Corners get corners. So here is my 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into that corner space. 1, 2, and 3. So working back along the side, I'm going to go into this stitch right here. So just skipping 2 and into the third. 3 double crochets. We just want to have 3 sets of 3 in between our corners. I'm going to skip these 3. I'm going to work into the fourth. 3 double crochets. We just want to even out our sets of double crochets. Like that. Skipping 2 into the third, so the first one of our corner. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And into this corner space, 3 double crochets. The same corner where we began, we're just going to finish off. Just like that. And now there's 2 ways to finish. If we are going to continue, then chain 1 and make 1 single crochet into the top of that chain to join. Hold your corner open, chain 3, and continue with your normal grinding square pattern. If you are going to join and end, you will do a chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch into the top of the chain to join. Chain 1 to secure your yarn. Cut your yarn, leaving a long enough tail to sew in with a needle later. Pull your hook up and your yarn through. Snug that down to secure. Sew in your tails, and you're finished. So now you can use this crochet heart granny square with any other granny square pattern. It will match up exactly. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. I'm waiting for you in that video up there, and stay hooked.